What's going on, guys? Alright, so this is my 2005 Pontiac Grand Prix Series 3 3800 V6 in it. Had an occasion recently where the car went off and said low oil pressure. Got scared. Checked the oil. Oil was fine. Everything, so I shut it off, and I checked the oil, obviously. Then went back in at Walmart, got a quart of oil just in case it was low. Before that, when I came back out, it's like, well, let me start it up. So I didn't get the error again. So it's like, okay, it's either the oil pump going faulty or there's a sensor that's gone bad. Well, after some research on the internet, and I'm part of a couple of Facebook groups that have to do with a 3800 group, they said chances are it's the sensor. Those things tend to go out. This car's 15 years old. It's the original one, so it made sense. So a little more research. This is a diagram of, more or less where this oil pressure switch is. So there's the oil filter, and then looks like connected to it towards the end is the oil pressure switch, which is that thing sticking out, which is that little thing. Model number for my particular vehicle, which works according to the AC-Delco website, works for both supercharged and natural aspirated. Mine's a base model, so it's naturally aspirated. It's a D1835A. One thing they told me to look out for, see if it's chock full of oil. Well, there's the oil filter. And that green thing, see if I can get good light on it, is the connector to the oil pressure switch. And I don't know if you can make it out, but it is pretty greasy. So chances are it's on its way out. When I drove it home after that initial scare, I didn't hear any noise from the engine. So I think, the conclusion that it's the pressure switch is correct. If you look inside here, if you can make it out, it's got two pins. Now you can test these. I have no idea what the voltage is, if it's supposed to be 5 volt or 12 volts or whatnot. But I got no codes on, the code reader, and so to me it just tells me that it just detects it and sends an emergency alarm to the DIC and go from there. One thing I did find out on the internet, you will need a special socket that fits it. As you can see, this thing has these odd little notches, and that's built into the socket here. I got a kit, GearWrench. It has for O2 sensors and everything else, like eight different sockets. And it was on sale. Normally $85. I got it for about $35. Amazon had it on sale. I said, you know what? This car's 15 years old. Chance of an O2 sensor and other things. So rather than piecemealing it, I just got it all this. Other videos I've seen on the internet, these things are like about $15 at AutoZone. If you get it from Amazon, $10. I think I've seen them for. I just went ahead and got the whole kit. I'll post everything I got down below. I don't know if the sale's still on when you guys watch this, but whatever. Alright, I'm going to stop this. I'm going to go down, disconnect the wire, figure all this out, because this is the first time doing it. And, before I go any further, I got this cheap. Got it for like $50 at Amazon, at Harbor Freight. They're small aluminum 1.5 ton thing. If you can look down below, that right there, that black part, is a hockey puck, and above it is a adapter that fits into the what the hell is the term? A crimp zone, I think is what they call it. So basically, it's where your normal jack would line into, so you can jack up the car. And as a precaution, as a precaution, I have it on a jack on the frame rail. So You know, always double up. Don't depend on one piece of machinery, because you don't want this to fall, and then, you know, rotors get damaged. You got to start replacing tie rods and whatnot because of, you know, everything gets banged up. So, and for your own safety as well. You don't want to get crushed underneath there if you happen to be changing the oil. All right, I'm gonna stop this. Let me get to the next part and go from there. All right, guys. So I moved on. Undoing that clip, you see it down there. It's in green. Was ridiculously easy. I mean, I borrowed a screwdriver just in case, but did not need it. It came off very, very easy. Pain in the ass part was, one, getting the socket on, because you got that metal line, which I'm not entirely certain what it is, and I didn't feel like undoing it without knowing what it was. So I managed to squeeze it in. Struggled with getting just the wrench directly into it, so I was like, all right, you know, let me get a 3-inch, and I did, and it broke off fairly easily. One of the things that I saw on previous videos that were with Series 2 is that, you know, they warned a little oil might come out, which is expected. So I got my oil catch pan down below it, and let's see how this, it broke off fairly easy. It's got thread lockers. So I'll give this until it stops kind of really struggling. Sorry for the visual, guys. I'm kind of new at this still, so, and I'm really new at working on cars, but, you know, for a $15 part, I'd rather do it myself, given, you know, what little research I did and how easy it was supposed to be accessible. All right. A little better angle. And as you can see, the white thread locker trying to come out of that. I'm hoping it doesn't emit too much oil. I got a quart, as I said from earlier, because I didn't need it, but and I still got a little bit left over of from my last oil change. I buy 5 quarts. Just because, you know, the car takes 4.5 quarts, so I always end up with a half quart left over, which, you know, given this car and given how greasy that spot is, you know, I just thought it was burning oil. It might have been just seeping out of that, so it might still be burning oil. I've never done a compression test on the car, so, or had one done on it for me. Alright, this is boring, so I'm going to finish this up. I'll start it again once I get it all the way out, and we'll take a look at it, and I'll let you know how much oil spilled out. Alright, see you in a bit. Ta-da! Effing hell, this POS. Alright, so it takes a bit, but alright, based on what I just showed you, needed a 3/8 and the extension. You put it up in there, okay? And you draw it out until it really kind of spins freely. Alright? Till it spins freely. You know, once it's past the what you can see remaining of the Teflon tape there. At that point, you unplug, you undo the socket and the extension. The reason for it is because that damn metal line that was kind of giving me some issues before gave me issues when it's fully pulled out with the socket on. So thankfully they put in this part so that once it starts spinning freely, you just spin it right out and you go from there. Yeah, it's greasy as all get out in there. Alright, well, it's kind of expected given this direct contact to oil, but still, these apparently do go bad periodically. Focus. Come on. Oh well. So yeah, now I'm gonna reverse the process, and maybe I'll be able to one hand putting it on, and you just kind of see that part, and then reverse engineer how to take it off. So, all right, let me get on to the next part, get set, and we'll go from there. Oh, by the way, they mentioned that some oil might come out. I really didn't see any. It could be because of the way I got the car jacked up on, on this side. All the oil on the oil pan is, flushed off to the driver's side. So, but, took precautions, and thankfully I didn't need them. So, all right, be right back. All right, so I put it, I'm sorry guys, I don't have a stand for my phone. That's what I'm taking this with. So I put the new oil pressure switch in the socket that it goes in, and managed to get it started. So now let me put this to on. Let's see if I can get this jimmied in there. There we go. All right. And you might have noticed when I was taking it off, that the socket slipped off the metal part of the switch. So I was spinning there for God knows how long, unnecessarily. I didn't realize it until I got off, turned off the video to the recording to. Alright, so. And I'll be honest, guys, I have a GearWrench socket. It's, movable. So it's kind of nice. It's 120 tooth, which they do it like 260 teeth, coils inside of it to make it a little bit stronger. But, having that 3.5 degree where it catches makes it easier for these tight spots. Alright, I don't want to crush it, but I just want to get it in there snug, and I think it's there. Let me take a look. Move the light here. Yeah, that looks pretty good, actually, I think. Well, I'll know when I set it back down, if it starts leaking oil and all that, that it's not in there all the way. But, and I did clean the surface around it a bit with a blue paper towel. But, yeah, well, let's see. Alright, I'm going to set this down. I was holding the light, holding the phone. It didn't get me anywhere fast. Alright, let me stop the video, and I'll see you in a bit. Alright guys, so there it is, all plugged in. I mean, kind of a pain in the butt to me, but I'm sure these the mechanics are kind of way worse, and this was, after everything's said and done, really not that complicated. You just had to figure it out, a little bit. So, but yeah, I mean, this should be the same process for, supercharged and the naturally aspirated 3800 engines for 2005 to 2008 Grand Prix, and I'm sure Buick and Chevy and Oldsmobile have their counterparts, that use the same block and motor and all that. So. If you got any questions, I guess just put them down below. And I'll be honest, I don't check the channel all that much except just to see how many views I got. But you know, I'm still new at the YouTube thing, and you know, still new at the shade tree mechanic stuff. But let me get the tire back on, get everything put away, drive the car a bit, and you know, do a quick inspection afterwards and see if I get any more, you know, low pressure alarms, low oil pressure alarms, or if I got a bit of a leak. But you know, it looks to be in about the same amount of spot. You know, the only thing that's different from where I left it to, you know, where I started is that the clip, you know, to where that green part clips onto is on the other side. But again, it was easy to take off, and it just has, you know, the one, and so it's not on both sides. So it only clips in one way. All right, well, thanks for watching the video. You know, I hope you learned a couple things from it, and you know, I'm sure you guys tell me, you know, give me pointers, you know, pairs of thought next time I have to do this. But given that this car's 15 years old, it's got maybe just under 110,000 miles. Hopefully I won't have to do this for another 100,000 miles or 15 years. All right, thanks again for watching, guys, and I appreciate you, you know, checking it out. Talk to you soon. Bye. All right, a little bonus footage. I'm about to start this car for the first time in about 2 weeks. You know, we went on vacation last week, and the parts took a couple days. I got everything by last Tuesday, so here I am doing it today. It's a Sunday. Anywho, shut that off. Well, yeah, so no, cruise system is on. Turn it off. All right, put it in reverse because RPM drops. No issues. So I'm still going to take it for a test drive in a bit, but I figured you might want to see, you know, starting it up, if, you know, because it blares there, and then the oil light, which appears on the dash, flashes, and that's how you know, that's, so it tells you two ways. You know, it tells you in the DIC oil pressure low or low oil pressure, one or the other, and then you know, the oil light flashes on the dash. But all that aside, and like I said, just under 110,000 miles. Woohoo! This car's still a baby. I hope. Yeah, but it's been a good car so far, and I've been real pleased. And you know, hopefully it'll last me for many more years without too many issues. But it's an American product, and yeah, the engines are strong. The transmissions and other parts are not so strong. Anyway, enough of that. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you soon.